Okay, today's video is going to be about some Asian woman plus size models and, well, fat models. The Asian woman's called something like Yumi, Yummy, something like that, some Asian name. She was on the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine. She's definitely, wouldn't say as obese as, nowhere near as obese or fat as Lizzo, Tess Holiday, but she's certainly on the bigger side of things, right? She wasn't athletic. I know that's the whole idea, that's what they're trying to promote, trying to say all sizes are beautiful. Well, news for you, not all sizes are beautiful, right? Majority of people on planet Earth wouldn't consider an obese woman to be beautiful. Also, majority of people on Earth, yeah, Liz has got a somewhat of a pretty face, and so does Tess Holiday. But in terms of their size, majority of people on Earth would not find them to be beautiful or sexy or anything. Yet they appear on these health magazines, they appear on these modeling magazines, and these magazines are being put, the companies know they are selling these magazines to 12, 13-year-olds. And these 12, 13-year-olds, very young, very easy, very impressionable, they are buying these magazines, they are seeing these big fat women on them. It doesn't help them out. They could be seeing, there's other models, there's Fern Cotton, Zendaya, there's Gigi Hadid. They could be looking at them, reading about healthy foods and diets and how they have true body, confidence. And true body confidence comes from going to the gym, looking good, being healthy. Now, you might be watching this and think, well, who am I to say that? That's fine. You can say that, I don't mind. But why are they putting these models? Because the people doing it are the companies. The companies right now, they've seen a huge gap in the market, which everyone knows there is. Right now, you can lean either way. It's much easier to lean the way that everyone is going than the opposite. Every single, from Disney to Netflix, and I said that on the last one about gay Superman, and whether that's comic books going woke, so they'll change their character. Like Superman, we have to have gay Superman, or Hulk, there has to be She-Hulk. Whether that's, I'm sure Batman will come out as gay eventually, and we'll have, with Batman as well, you have Batgirl, all these different things are going woke. But in terms of this, bringing it back to this conversation of the idea of a woman can be beautiful if they're fat. If they're fat, and if you don't like it, because of course if you don't like it, if you don't like a woman that's fat, well then you're a bigot. You're fat phobic. You're the problem's with you, not the woman that's eating 10,000 hamburgers a day, not the woman that's shoving her face with a load of food. It's your problem. You're a fat phobic bigot. You're just, the problem is with you. You're the one that's wrong in society. It's not the fact that these models are taking up money. They're taking, very happily, I'm sure, very happily taking money from these companies like Vanity Fair and all these other health and modeling magazines. They're taking their money and they're being used as pawns, apart from, part of the social justice game. The SJWs, the social justice warriors, they're being used as a part of their game to push this woke agenda. And if you're watching, you might say, oh, that's conspiracy, or that's radical nonsense. You think that is? Look at Disney, look at Netflix, look at any other industry right now that's happening. You have someone that is with inside it, whether that's the actors or actresses, whether that's like the idea of James Bond, James Bond becoming a black male. You've got Idris Elba. How long, honestly, if we keep going the way we're going, how long do you think it'll be before Idris Elba becomes the first ever black male James Bond, and everybody will have to watch it and say, oh yeah, that's the greatest movie I have ever seen. The truth will be that it wasn't the greatest movie, it was a terrible movie. The truth is, when it comes to that conversation, is that you don't hire actors or actors based on their race or gender, you hire them based on their actual talent to act. Bringing it back to this, this is one of the things that the woke and the far left seem to want to nail in so hard. And I can honestly say, if we don't do anything about it, because it circles round. You say, well, lose some weight. You shouldn't be on the front cover of magazines, because if you're on the front cover of magazines, bad influence to young people. But not only that, you're only used to fill in that gap. You know, you had on the Sports Illustrated magazine Kim Kardashian, multiple other models that were very beautiful, but yet they just had you. And they had you not because they liked you, most likely, because they can make money from you. That's why they had you on there. It was so they can make money, the company can profit, and also, and yeah, that's business. That's just business. But they had you on there to promote their own personal, selfish, social justice warrior agenda. You go back 10, or not even that, you just go back 4 or 5 years ago, you wouldn't have had a big, fat woman on any magazine. And you'll probably think, well, that's progress. That's not progress. You really think now because we've got some fat woman on a magazine, that's going to create some magical change for the next generation going forward? I'll tell you what change that's going to create going forward for the next generation. More young people are going to look at that and think, oh yeah, that's great. She can be fat and not care about how she looks or anything. Do a magazine, so I'll just eat whatever I want to eat and not ever do any hard work, not ever try, do anything, and never go to the gym or work out ever in my life. That's not progress. That's going backwards. The point is, these women probably get paid hundreds of thousands and make millions of dollars, whether that's from the photo shoot, whether that's from the brand that they make, like Tess Holiday and Lizzo. Lizzo does her music. There's a whole nother conversation that goes into that. Some of the clothes she wears, she goes up, stands on stage. You know, she goes up, stands on stage, wears some of these outfits, and a lot of her audience is younger, and all that. However, staying on topic of this, beauty is not defined because of what you want beauty to be. Beauty is ultimately defined by what I or any other man on earth, or a woman, there's plenty of women that don't look at that and think, oh, that's a beautiful woman. A woman can look at someone and be like, that's a beautiful woman. Sure, she's somewhat pretty. If you've seen Yumi or Yumi, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll probably get done now. That's of course, if you can't pronounce someone's name, can't remember what they called that, but that's cultural. That's something to do with cultural appropriation, something like that. If you can't pronounce someone's name, God forbid. But Yummy or Yumi or Yumi, whatever her name is, she is somewhat of a pretty woman, same as Lizzo and Tess Holiday. However, she's not someone that should be on a modeling magazine or a health magazine or a fitness magazine. She does not represent health. She's not a healthy woman. Not only that, but if you want to say who am I to talk about beauty, I'm not saying I'm attractive. I don't know. But also I don't care. That's not the point here. My point is, if you want to be on a magazine, you should at least have to look somewhat like an image of something that is beautiful. And myself, other men, the majority of men around the world would not call Lizzo, Tess Holiday or Yumi beautiful woman. They are obese women, and obese in many cultures is not something of beauty. And there's many different kinds of beauty. There's beauty in nature, for example. You can find beauty in nature, find beauty in art, find beauty in music, and that is defined by many different means. As we came by that over the course of thousands of years. For example, many people can listen to Beethoven and say, well, that's a beautiful piece of music. Why is it beautiful? Whether you listen to that type of music or not, why can you listen to that and say, oh, that's a good piece of music? Because it is historical, it's a piece of culture, something that took a lot of time for someone to work on, but also because it just is. Not only that, but if you go outside or look at Picasso's paintings, there's an infamous painting of his by a lake and land. Why is that beautiful? So that's beautiful because there's natural resources in the painting. Look at the lake, you have water, and the land. We've always needed water and land for thousands of years. That's why we find that beautiful. So if you bring that, relate it to bodies, and that brings back the whole idea. They say they're trying to break the standard. Well, the standard has been the standard for thousands of years. So what you're trying to break it from, it's literally built into us. It's instinctively built into us, and it's been built into us over the course of thousands of years. Whether that's based on symmetry or whether that's based on slightly wider thighs or wider hips, wider hips to thigh ratio. And the reason a lot of men find that attractive, or the thigh gap, for instance, a lot of women talk about the thigh gaps in modern culture, and they say, oh, the thigh gap is sexist. No, the thigh gap is just something a lot of men instinctively, whether knowingly or not, they find something to be an attractive feature in women. One, because it is somewhat attractive to know for sure, especially now, that there is no penis in between them, and of course that's somewhat tongue-in-cheek. But wider thighs and have that hip ratio, it accentuates the body and makes a woman look more beautiful, more natural. Not just that, but a slimmer woman. Why someone slimmer? And does that really have to be explained? Why is a slimmer woman compared to a fat, round, obese woman more attractive? In pretty much every culture, a slimmer looking woman is more beautiful than Tess Holiday or Lisa, a woman that is very round. Is there much more to say?